financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is we need a coronavirus survival plan. This is a serious time and this is serious business. Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Jeffrey Linden.
Good morning, Ken.
Pat Simesko.
Morning. We put all the thinking caps on for this show.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, let me just say, we started with Frank and Nancy last week and we introduced them and we were going to go through their financial situation. We're going to put Frank and Nancy on hold. We need to focus on what's going on right now. And for the next 3 shows, we're going to talk about adopting and figuring out the coronavirus COVID-19 survival plan. Today we're going to talk about we need the plan. Next week, prioritization and preservation. And then the third week, 3 weeks, we'll talk about there will be solutions. Now, I want to just say something at the beginning, because everybody is stressed. Your children are stressed, you're stressed, I'm stressed. I think everybody needs to kind of take a breath. The anxiety is going to hit you periodically. The way to deal with it is just take a breath, relax, say to yourself, we're going to get through this. It's going to take time. And I kind of analogize it to, I don't like roller coasters. I never have. And every once in a while, like Cedar Point, take the kids, I end up on the roller coaster. And the moment I'm on it, I'm saying, why did I do this? But the bottom line is, once you're on the roller coaster, you've got to ride out the ride until it's over. And I look at what we're going through right now as a bad roller coaster ride. But you're on the car. You can't grab the sides and start screaming for your dad. It ain't going to do any good. You've got to wait till you get to the end. And we will get to the end. And when you get to the end, you get off. You may toss your cookies, but everything after that is okay.
Ken, I got to say one thing, and because I've been seeing this for a lot of years. I've been a financial advisor, and I've been seeing people with the markets and stuff like that. When you get off that roller coaster, you better remember how you felt, because people forget and they get right back on.
Learn
and they
your
get
lesson.
right back on, and they get right back on. And that's getting back on is where you have to be careful about.
And we're going to talk about investing in terms of where, because people have got money in the market that's down 33%. I mean, and nobody's
2
happy.
weeks.
Nobody's happy about that. So along with the roller coaster, what I've been saying to my children are millennials and they're in a productive course of their lives, and one of them has a business that's decimated by this, a camping business. There's nothing going to happen this year. What I'm saying to them is, for you guys, it's a pause. The pause button has been hit on our lives. Nothing until we get through this is going to go gangbusters great. But in the long run, when we go a year from now, or 6 months from now, or 2 years from now, and we look back on this, we're going to say, oh yeah, it was hell. We got through it. Everything paused. But everything then, time heals wounds and things go on. So you don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let the anxiety overwhelm you, but you need to think clearly. So, where are we going? Our primary goal in terms of this coronavirus plan is to prioritize what you need to do with the limited resources you have. You're going to see 1 million programs announced. And you'll probably remember the financial crisis. You had all these people that knew nothing about modifying mortgages telling you how to charging you exorbitant fees to modify your mortgages. You had all these people coming in. You had all this advice. You got the media and everyone else telling you what to do. And they're telling you conflicting things. The burden on us and on you and on the four of us and everyone else is to sort through all of that information to figure out what is the best advice and what should you do in your circumstance.
And you better look for someone that's your fiduciary. We're fiduciaries. As attorneys, we have to be the attorney first. So when they're calling Brian or calling Ken or Jeff or me, we have to give them the advice that's best for them, not what's going to be best for the person on the other end of the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch for that. So people are calling me constantly. We're all getting the questions. The tenant calls me up and says, should I pay rent or hold my money? My landlord client calls me up and says to me, what should I do with my tenants who are restaurants are not paying? And I'm saying, well, it's going to be difficult to go ahead and demand the rent. He says, well, how am I going to make my mortgage payment on the building? Everybody you hear on the news, everyone else, I live paycheck to paycheck. I'm in the hospitality business. I'm laid off. I need $3,500 a month to live. I have $300 in the bank. What am I supposed to do? And then you've got the other call coming in is, should I take the money out of my 401k and my IRA to maintain my living? This is not easy. We've got laws that are in play. We're being told that help is on the way. We're getting engaged and others are getting engaged. We're seeing progress in terms of the federal government, the state. We've got priority and preservation. We got to figure out what to do. Now, just as a quick one, getting engaged. I was appalled by the pictures of the young adults on the beach in Florida and everyone strolling around holding hands and walking 3 inches apart in San Francisco, which is in a shutdown mode. We have to convey to our young children, our young adult children, that it's not about them. Yes, they will survive this. It's not that bad for them, but they can't pass this on to their parents and their grandparents. And we need, the faster we get it done, we flatten the curve, we get beyond this. Lingering in it is going to just increase the pain, and the pain is going to affect those young people who think they're bulletproof. So we've got to deal with that whole thing. All right, so we come back from the break, we're going to get back to the laws in play and how we're going to deal with this.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Welcome back. All right, so we're seeing a lot of laws. Laws really don't matter what's in play. What's important is how is it impacting us. But just to give you the flavor, on the federal level, you've got the Stafford Act, you've got the Public Health Service Act, National Emergencies Act, and you've got Congress's ability to pass laws. The president declares an emergency. That allows funding for the state and local governments. That's already happened. And the state level, the Michigan Constitution gives executive power to the governor. She's already issuing executive orders daily, 2-3 coming in a day, dealing with these issues. You've got the Michigan Emergency Management Act, the Emergency Powers of Governor Act. If you want to keep abreast of what's going on at the state and the executive orders, here's the website, michigan.gov/Whitmer, then just click Executive Orders, and then click Executive Orders again, and you'll be able to see what's coming down the pipe each day. They post them up there very quickly. So we're hearing about help. We've got H.R. 6201 on the federal level that has, as of now, has passed the House, but it's being negotiated with the Senate. They're talking about emergency sick pay leave. They're talking about extending Family Medical Leave Act, providing for pay. The employer will get a credit on their end as to what emergency leave pay and sick pay is given to the employees. And then you're talking about this economic response package that isn't even in the form of a bill yet for $1 trillion, sending money to everybody. Michigan Unemployment Act the governor has issued executive orders making it easier to apply for unemployment.
That's where we're at right now with our office. If we're going to be shut down and we can't see, what do we do with our employees? Are we allowed to lay them off? And then are they allowed to get unemployment?
Yeah, and the executive order allows greater leeway for unemployment. In fact, the employee, they actually suspended the rule that says, I quit and I walk out. And that caused a forfeiture period on unemployment. That's taken away. If you quit because you got to care for your kids at home, or your parent, or you're quarantined, or you're self-quarantined, those situations allow you to immediately get benefits. They've extended the benefit time.
Well, it's also suspended the rule that if you have to take time off of work, traditionally there's sort of a 3-day abandonment rule. If you don't show up for 3 days, you're deemed to have quit, and you weren't eligible for the unemployment benefits. They've suspended that as well because of the people being home quarantined or being advised to stay at home.
And I look at this and I say, all right, here you've got this big controversy. People are saying, oh, the businesses are closing, and business owners are concerned about, can I lay people off? Should I lay people off? How do I make sure my business is going to still be here in a month or 6 weeks, whenever we're allowed to go back to work? People are sitting here saying, how am I going to make sure I still have a job? What do I have to do to keep my job? Am I going to be able to afford to pay my mortgage payment or buy groceries? God forbid we should be able to find toilet paper. I mean, they
want the boss to pay them their wages while they're up, but
there's
we can't
literally
do it and keep business.
A complete split right down the middle. Businesses are concerned about businesses, and people are concerned about people. And there's a question of whether or not these laws and these acts from Congress are going to help bridge that gap.
They're going to help bridge the gap, but they won't bridge the gap. This
a Band-Aid.
This is what we know. Go back to what I said. If you need $3,500 a month to live on because you're working you're a normal working American trying to make a living. Let's say you're single, or you have one child, you got rent, car payment, food. You need $3,000 a month minimum. Okay, you're not going to get $3,000 a month if you're not working from the government.
You better be careful though, because a lot of people say they need it. What they really mean is they want $3,000 a month because they want to keep the same standard that they had before. They better start realizing they got to tighten those belt buckles some.
That's for sure. That goes to the prioritization. Quick thing. If you have unemployment, they want you to apply online. I'm posting up on behind me, www.michigan.gov UIA, or call 800-500-0017 to apply online. Here's the rules you need to know. When you're applying, there's going to be interplay between the federal benefits and the state benefits. What you need to do when you have an opportunity to apply, apply. Watch and call and apply, and don't lie. Don't lie, because that will come back and bite you down the road. Your job is to be honest when you apply. You'll get the benefits you're entitled to.
Is there a waiting period or anything? Or if they're off?
The goal is going to be very quick response to try and fund these
There's
things.
another
Just
nice thing
real
for
quick
the
clarification. You indicated that phone number. If we're going to verbalize it, it's 866-500-0017 for the.
No one listens to Ken anyway, so it don't matter.
Well, I didn't
Right.
screw up Fred and Nancy's names. Go ahead.
Well, in terms of helping bridge that gap, with respect so far that I've seen in the unemployment, they have put in the executive orders that while they're suspending the rules that limit eligibility, they're also saying that for employers, if you have an uptick in credit in claims made for unemployment because of the COVID-19 circumstances, that the employers are not going to be dinged with
It's
the
not gonna
negative.
go into
It's not going
your
to increase
account.
their unemployment tax
Wow.
rate.
Which is
There you
good, which is the right move. Other one, SBA loans for businesses. The SBA, the government has made $1 billion available for the SBA. As of now, when I looked at it, Michigan is still, the governor's applied for that, waiting for SBA approval. So when you go on the SBA site, it doesn't show disaster relief relative to coronavirus yet, but it will any day. If you're a business person, you want to go on that site, sba.gov/disaster, and try and apply for assistance. You can get 3.75% interest. You can get terms up to 30 years. Over $25,000, they are looking for security, secured assets, probably guarantees. If you have other available credit, you're not going to be eligible, but you should apply. You need to look to sources where you can gather cash, because cash is the most valuable resource in this crisis. You need to try and muster as much of it as you can.
But where do you get it from is important. Where do you get the cash from?
Yeah, I would rather get it from the SBA than from a loan shark who's going to charge you 50% interest and break your legs if you don't pay. So you got to be careful in terms of your choices. Let's take a break and we'll go to prioritization and preservation.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 a.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m., and on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. These are difficult times, and the environment is changing daily. Sign up on our website for our news blasts. As events transpire, we will inform and email you with the latest news, particularly as it applies to Michiganders dealing with the crisis. We have made changes at THAV GROSS. People can still come in and meet at the present time, but video conferencing is also available. We are not doing seminars because we cannot do gatherings, but instead we will be doing webinars. We have webinars coming up where you can stay in your home, attend our webinar via the internet, ask questions while you watch. We have 2 webinars scheduled. The first one is called Your COVID-19 Financial Survivor Strategy. It is going to air at 2 times, on Wednesday, April 15th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. or Saturday, April 18th from 9:30 to 11. Sign up by hitting thavgross.com or Law and Reality. When the time comes, you will click on the link and you will be live with Brian and myself covering your COVID-19 financial survivor strategy. We'll look at how to prioritize the critical decisions you must make in choosing between undesirable options, how to position yourself so that when this ends, you recover and excel going forward. We'll learn the available programs and options as the crisis unfolds. Attendees will also receive a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Again, sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Our second webinar is called Necessary Estate Planning Steps in View of COVID-19. It will be offered at 2 times as well, Wednesday, April 29th, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., Saturday, May 2nd, 9:30 to 11 a.m. You sign up at thavgross.com or lawandreality.com. At the time of the webinar, you will click the link and be connected with Brian and myself live. You can send in questions and we will respond to you live on the internet. We're going to look at all the issues that are triggered for estate planning as a result of the coronavirus. We will also cover the new IRA laws that came into effect in 2019, how to protect your assets for you and your children in view of financial distress. Attendees will receive a $300 gold certificate off the cost of any estate plan. Again, you want to sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. Free consultations now will sometimes be on the phone. They can be over the internet via video conferencing, or if available, you'll be able to come into the office. Call 888-235-HELP or go online to sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com. We will abide by all social distancing protocols and make available to you the opportunity to consult via the phone or web conferencing. Remember, debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner. Take advantage of it. Sign up. This is a time where you need advice. It's available. Consultations are free. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Samasco Law, Jeff Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
By the way, it is Frank and Nancy, not Fred and Nancy. Preservation of cash. All right, so here's the question. Priority number one, we all agree, is you need cash. So I'm going to throw it out to you. Okay. I'm short of cash. I have available credit on credit cards. I have money in my 401k or an IRA. I have an equity line on my house that I could tap. What do I do?
I'm going to say right now.
Do I keep paying my bills?
Well, you need money on a monthly basis to pay your bills. If you have $400,000 in your 401k and it's down to $300,000, you don't need to liquidate that to cash, because what you did is you locked in that loss. If you can keep it in there, so when the market goes back up, whenever it is, you'll be able to go back up with it.
So if you take what's left in that account, you've locked in your loss because the money's gone.
Yeah, so everyone wants to jump in, and that's called behavioral economics. They get afraid, so they want to cash everything in and have it in cash, and cash is king. But the reality is you've locked in your loss. If the market's down and you pull out of the market, if you can pull slowly out. So if you're going to have to pull out of your 401k to pay your bills, which I understand that you have to put food on the table and whatever expenses that you have, slowly pull it out and put it into your bank
That's on the
account.
market. But Brian, I'm going to you. Here's the situation. I have $400 in the bank. I'm in the hospitality business and I've been laid off. I have...
Use your credit cards. Preserve your family. Protect yourself.
So I've got 20,000 available on the credit card. Should I take it as a cash advance?
So
Because
here's
here's what I'm worried about. If I just use the credit cards, what if all of a sudden I get a letter in the mail that says they're trimming my available line? Once they trim my available line, I can't use the credit card.
This is correct. So you have to weigh the likelihood of you going back to work anytime soon against the likelihood.
I'm not
of,
going back to work until
Not for-
until the order, until the hospitality, until people are allowed to go into
Well,
restaurants.
I know, and certainly it does appear that even though the restaurants are supposed to be closed for 2 to 3 weeks, I don't remember the exact rule is.
Who knows?
The reality is it's going to be much longer than that.
We don't know.
That's my opinion. So if it comes down to which is less risky.
Do I take the
Do you
cash?
take the cash on the credit
Or
cards, or
just
do you
use
take
the
the
cards?
cash on the house?
Okay, if I take the cash on the house,
So I'll
now
tell you,
I've lost the equity in my house. Our 3-point
No.
retirement is own your house free and clear, have cash in the bank, and have zero debt when it comes to
so
retirement.
if they're going to cut your line of credit and
On my
that's
house?
on your house, which happened in the last recession.
We lost our line of credit.
Right,
So
I lost mine.
if
I
you
took it first.
Had the money sitting in the bank, and they were charging you 5% interest, and you were using it slowly because, as Pat said, you were cutting back. At least you were using
what are you
that
saying?
money slowly. I'm saying
Because we only have 2 minutes.
protect yourself. Go get the money any way you can.
Take the money on the equity line, stick it in the bank account.
Yep.
No,
What
he said
about
the
the credit
credit
cards?
credit
No,
card.
take the money on
Take
the
the
equity
ca-
line. Run your equity line. This is just a philosophy.
So you have the
run
cash.
your equity line up to the max. Put
Stash
the money
cash.
in the bank. Yet recognize you're going to have to pay the payment each month on the equity
Now go on
line.
to the next one.
Credit cards.
Do I take the credit cards too and
I
use
would be
that money
using-
first so that I save the equity line so I can pay it back on the house and then I
I-
can settle the credit card debt when this thing is all over?
Well, apparently yes, because that's what I was going to tell you. But that would be a very good explanation of what to do.
Here's the problem. Nothing is fun here. We're being stuck with difficult choices between two bad options. But option A is you keep paying your credit cards, you take the money out of your retirement, you lock in your loss like you just said, you use the equity line on your house, and then you have no equity in your house, you have no retirement, your credit cards still end up at $50,000, and then you're bust. That's not the ideal outcome. You would be better to preserve your 401k. You'd be better to take the money on your equity line and stash it as the last reserve for money. You'd be better to use the credit cards, let them linger out there, and then at the end, if you're cash short, you can settle the credit card debt, or you also have bankruptcy alternatives and options down the road. What's the priority? You need cash. I'm giving you reality. I understand my clients that are bankers are going to sit there frowning and scowling at what I'm saying, but the bottom line is this is reality, and you need to make sure you have cash to pay your bills. You need to sort out your options and work it
How
that
are they
way.
going to get a hold of you? They can't come in. Are they going to do?
They're going to come in 888-235-HELP.